Well, hi guys, Mark here. We're here again today at Poole Moto here in the south of England, and today we're going to be reviewing the Voge Ds525X. Stay tuned. Well, hi there guys, Mark here, and pleased today to be bringing you a review on the all-new Voge Ds525X. So I've been riding this bike now for about a week, put a few hundred miles on it. MotoGB have very kindly lent it to me, and every now and again I review bikes that really do impress me with their kind of level of specification, the quality of the ride and their value for money, and this most definitely is one of those bikes. Tons to talk about on this review. So what we're going to do, we'll run through the specifications first of all, then we'll take it for a test ride on some A roads, dual carriageways. We will do a night riding section, go through town, and then we'll finish off at the end down at Poole Harbour. So price on these as of today on the MotoGB website, £5,499 plus the £150 on the road charge. That's for this model with no panniers. For £5,999 plus the on the road, you get the model with the panniers. It's available in this very nice blue silver with the gold wheels, which is my favourite colour, and also like a grey as well. So if you don't know already, Voge is owned by Sin, which is a long-standing manufacturer of motorcycles. You know, they've made a lot of engines for BMW. I think they make the F750 GS engine. So reliability on these is top-notch. They're a proven manufacturer. So on here we have a 494cc liquid-cooled parallel twin, putting out 47.6 horsepower, 8,500 RPM. And torque, which is a very good figure on this. It's very torquey. It pulls well from low RPM. 44 Newton meters at 7,000 RPM. It's got a decent sized fuel tank, 16.5 litres. I will work out later on today my exact fuel consumption, and I will write it here on text for you. I would expect, you know, a good sort of 70 to the gallon UK out of this. So you're going to get, you know, well in excess of 200-mile tank range, which is superb. So one thing I particularly like about this bike is the comfort. It's got a very plush, spacious, nicely designed seat. I have ridden this bike for 3 hours without a break, and it's definitely very comfortable. It's really good all-day comfort for sure. You could definitely do some big touring trips on this. 810mm seat height on that. Just take a quick look at me on the bike. As a reference, I'm 5'7" tall, which is 170 centimeters, 30-inch inside leg. I weigh about 75 kilos. Just take a look at me on the cutscene and you can compare that for yourself. This is weighing in at 191 kilograms dry, around about 206 kilograms wet weight. So it's not too bad for, you know, an adventure style bike. It doesn't feel heavy on the move. Tyres, we have the very good Metzeler Torrance, 19-inch front wheel, 17-inch rear, 110 on the front, 150 on the rear, and I have read a couple of reports online that these are tubeless, so that's great. It's a dual purpose tread pattern which perform really well on all types of surfaces. Underneath the seats, which are easy to take off, we've got a little tiny storage here with a helmet sort of holder cable. You've got your ECU, battery, and what looks like to be the air filter. So quite nice and clean under there, no nasty wires or anything, all pretty good. Like the fact that it comes with the grab rails and a rear rack, so if you just wanted to get the basic model, you could buy like a, you know, a Jivvy universal plate and then fit a twin helmet Jivvy box there, so that would be a good choice. 6-speed gearbox, which is very smooth shifting, not a single problem on that. So this is where it really starts to get good on this bike now, with the amount of specification you get. We have KYB adjustable forks upside down, which give a very, very smooth, plush, controlled ride. No problems at all with that. Rear shock is preload adjustable, again, very, very compliant. Twin discs up front, which are pedal, with Nissin calipers, which are 2-piston sliding calipers. Very good controlled stopping power from those. We have a centre stand, which is fantastic for cleaning and maintenance. That's brilliant. We have switchable ABS and traction control, which is operated on the buttons just here. But just looking around the bike, guys, you know, this really is a bargain mini adventure bike that rides really well. We have crash protection, crash bars and crash bungs. LEDs all round. Auxiliary lights, daytime running lights. Seven-inch colour LCD, which has tons of information on there. We'll look at that a bit later on. As I said, I will put in a night riding section just to check out those lights. I'm sure they're going to be very good. Bluetooth connectivity to your phone with basic navigation. We have a cigarette lighter socket, 12 volt there, and a USB over there. Adjustable screen, which just goes up and down by pushing it and pulling it. About 50mm. I'll keep it in the highest position. Now, a bit of an interesting thing, this, it does show on the web that it comes with a camera, forward-facing camera to record your journeys, but for some reason this one's blanked off. This is probably a pre-production model. I think it's the only one in the UK at the moment. Maybe the ones that come in, I've been told they're going to arrive here in the UK early May, may well come with the camera. Top speed on this, around about 100 miles an hour with 47 horsepower. But the main thing is it cruises really nicely around 60-70 miles an hour with lots more to go. But looking around the bike, guys, you know, it's a really good looking machine. Stacks and stacks of standard equipment. And I think, you know, for the money, it's an absolute bargain. It rides superbly. Definitely equally as good to ride as a Honda CB500X. I've ridden those a lot, and even Motorcycle News said that it rides very, very closely as well as the NX500 Honda. So, you know, it really is good. Anyway, let's go for the test ride, shall we? Okay, Voge Ds525X. Let's try this out. So not too bad a seat height at 810mm. It's one of the things I like about this bike. I'm not that tall, but it fits me absolutely perfectly. I think if you were much taller, if you were a 6-foot guy, there's still absolutely plenty of leg room here, so absolutely fine. So a lot to talk about on this bike. So just run through all the controls. We have a very, very light cable clutch, which is span adjustable. You have your headlight flasher, high and low beam, your traction control on off, enter, hazards, auxiliary light button, menu scroll, indicators and horn. Over this side you have a span adjustable front brake lever, ABS, mode button which does eco mode and sport. To be honest, I haven't found any difference in that whatsoever, so I've just left it in sport. And your start button, adjustable screen, cigarette lighter socket, USB, really nice colour LCD there, tons of information. Got your temperature, tyre pressure monitoring, which is great, fuel gauge, engine temperature, your trips, your odos, all your warning lights, clock, date and all that sort of stuff along the top there if you scroll here. So a very comprehensive, nice dash there. But when you sit on the bike, you sort of sit right down into it. There's lots of protection from the wind at speed. You've got the hand guards, the screen's decent, gives you a nice bit of protection, but all of this kind of gives you a good sort of, you know, isolation from the wind. It does have the look of a big bike because of all this bodywork here, but it's actually quite hollow down in there. So it's not actually that big. It just gives the impression it's big. All this is just sort of lightweight plastic really, but very nicely made. Anyway, let's start her up. Straight away you got that lovely parallel twin. Sounds and feels to me like a 180 crank. And nice light clutch. And away we go. Okay, so we're out on the open road on the lovely Voge Ds525X. And what a cracking budget ADV this is. So we'll just run through all the parts of the bike in the usual way. So starting off with these mirrors, sleek looking things. See those before on quite a lot of these bikes. Decent view behind, no vibrations in them, all very clear. Can just see a little tiny bit of my shoulder, but on the whole very good view behind, so all good. So that standard screen, I've got that in the highest position. Nice sort of still bubble of air here. I can feel the wind going up over my helmet. It's a reasonably quiet. Possibly myself, I might even get a bigger screen for me or put a little flip there, but on the whole the screen is good, and the overall wind protection on this bike is excellent. The hand guards give a good protection on the hands as well, so you can fit some heated grips to this, put a pair of Oxfords on and you're good to go. That LCD colour screen is very good. Speed, revs, gears, all that sort of stuff, all very easy to see. Riding position, as you'd expect, lovely and comfortable, nice wide bars. You can adjust them for rake forwards and backwards, but this bike is super comfortable. I've spent 3 hours on this the other day non-stop, and very, very impressive. The seat is very comfortable, lots of leg room. I have taken someone on the back for about an hour, and to quote what they said, very, very comfortable indeed. They could be on the back all day, so that's good. If you had a top box on the back for them to lean against, even better. But the way the bike feels, you know, the overall sort of quality, the smoothness, it's very, very impressive. You know, these KYB front forks and the rear are doing a lovely job. I mean, it's very bumpy down this road, and it's just making a lovely smooth ride of it all. So the overall feel of this machine, very well put together and got a very good sort of quality ride to it, so very impressive. I'll just drop it down to 4th for you, down to 40, open it up, pulls really well. There you go, there's your 60 with no problems whatsoever. I have GPS checked the speedo at an indicated 60. It's doing a true GPS 55, so about acceptable. They always overread a bit, don't they? But even though the engine's only 47 horsepower, it's a very torquey unit. It really does pull well in the higher gears. We'll try it on a dual carriageway shortly, but we're in 5th gear now, just opening it wide open. As you can see, plenty of power there, no problems at all. So nothing behind, we'll just try a brake test out. Front brakes only. Ooh, well, very good. So excellent Nissin brakes. So 2nd gear, just going to wind it out. So no need to over rev this engine. There's plenty of mid-range, 4, 5, 6, lovely mid-range power on it. And as you can see, it effortlessly is cruising at sort of 60, 70, no problem at all. So I mean, it's a big bike, you know, it's very GS feeling, but it changes direction nicely. It doesn't feel heavy at all. You know, it's not a monster to push about. It's easy to put onto the centre stand. So all in all, a very, very impressive machine. So what's the Voge like on a dual carriageway at the higher speeds? So we're currently in 4th gear, just winding it out. Very, very quickly and easily up to the legal limit. Oh, that's really good. So there we are, around about 70 miles an hour. Top gear, just about 5,000 RPM. On the whole, very smooth. Few little vibes and tingles coming through the foot pegs, but on the whole, totally acceptable for a parallel twin. Definitely equal to a CB500X in terms of vibes. Nothing worse than that. So all good on the vibration front. On the whole, it's a very smooth engine. If I open it up in top gear, it really does pull nicely. So this will pull on to around about 100 miles an hour, I would have thought. At this speed, the wind blast is very good, totally acceptable. It's nice and sort of smooth around here, just feeling it going over my helmet. Hardly any wind at all on my hands, which is good. Bike feels very stable, solid, comfortable. You could literally ride this at this sort of speed all day long, do some really good touring trips on it. Still changes direction if you need to quickly. Just open it up in top gear. There you go. It's very torquey. It's a good engine, this. Very impressed with it. So there you are, guys. The Voge at the higher speeds. Very capable, very stable, comfortable with a good ride quality. So very impressive stuff. So what's the Voge like off-road? So we're just going down a typical sort of light track and trail. A little bit muddy, a little bit rutted, a few potholes, and it feels really good. I'm standing up now. It's got a nice stand-up position. Suspension's got quite a bit of travel on it, so it's going over all these bumps nicely. Plenty of traction from low down. It does have traction control and ABS. You can turn that on and off. These Metz Tourance tyres I do like. I've used these before. They work really well. Just miss all these potholes. But yeah, standing up feels great. Sitting down, very smooth at low RPM. Yeah, this feels really good off-road. Weaving it through those potholes there. Loads of control from that 19-inch front wheel. It's gone over all the bumps. So yeah, if you had to do some light tracks and trails on the Voge Ds525, no problem at all. I dare say it would handle a bit more extreme than this as well, but for this sort of stuff, gravel tracks, it feels very, very sure-footed and safe. Good suspension. The engine's fueled very good at low RPM. There's no snatchiness in the throttle. So yeah, there we go, guys. So all good for the Voge on the light tracks and trails. No problems whatsoever. What's the Voge like in town? A lot of people are going to be using these to go to work on, or commuting, shopping, that sort of thing. Just going to check the all-important low speed running on this now. So we're just dropping it down to third gear. Very, very smooth, light, positive gearbox on this. Back brake gives a nice bit of control. The riding position is superb. It's really commanding. It flicks around the bends with ease. Tyres feel really good. So we're just in third gear at the moment, just pootling along at 25 miles an hour. And good news, the fuel injection is really good. No surging or hunting in that fueling. Throttle response is mellow. Just dropping it down to second. Off the throttle to on is very gentle. Plenty of low down pull. Down to first, just feathering that clutch. Loads of pull from low down, that's handy. Really does shift. So into third gear now. We'll take fourth gear, no problem at third, 30 mile an hour. But yeah, very, very smooth at the low revs. That's very good indeed, so that's great news. But the overall feel of the bike, it's so well balanced, you can just throw it about. Really nice suspension. I say it's not a tall bike like a lot of these adventure bikes can be. I'm only 5'7", 170 centimeters, and I can very nearly flat foot it. My heels are just off the ground a little bit, but it's not a tall bike. So it's not a warm day today. It's 15 degrees here in the UK, but I can't feel any heat at all coming from the engine. Currently at 78 degrees, so it's keeping its cool nicely. But it's just such a good, nice bike to be. It feels well built, solid. It's smooth. So yeah, there you go, guys. The Voge through town, absolutely fine. Well, evening guys, and welcome to a night riding section on the Voge Ds525X. And so that's currently the lights on low beam with the very bright indicators running, and rear light and indicator there, all very bright LEDs. So if I just flick it on to high beam, it's illuminating this sort of section in there. So that's your sort of high beam. God, they are really good lights. And if I also switch on the spotlights for you, oh wow, look at that, off, on. That really is a magnificent light show. I think you will agree. Anyway, let's try it out. So that colour LCD dash is very, very easy on the eye. And away we go. Just have to say that the GoPro will never pick up the lights as well as they are, so you have to sort of just take my word for it. But so far, initial impressions are very, very good. So that's just the low beam without the spotlights on. If I flick the spotlights on, wow, that's really impressive. It's a massive sort of swathe of light in front of the bike. So that's low beam, and the high beam shoots right out there. So that's very, very impressive light. It's about as good as you can get, to be honest. I'm just taking it steady down this dark country road tonight. So there's your low beam. Very impressive. I'll turn those spotlights off. Again, that's still very good, just the low beam on its own. If I put the spotlights on and high beam, it's just like riding in daytime. It's absolutely superb. Very impressive. So it literally fills the whole road right up onto the verges. Very, very confidence inspiring if you had to ride a long way at night. So back to low beam, turn off those fog lights, spotlights, and even that on its own is very good. So the dash is very easy on the eye. You can see all my speedo and revs very easily, no problems at all there. It's not overly bright. Again, so I'll put on the auxiliary lights and I'll flick it onto high beam. That is really, really impressively good. So night riding on the Voge Ds525X, guys, is excellent. Easily do extended night rides on this with lights this good. As with most of this bike, it's really, really impressed me for the money. So there you go, guys. Lights on the Voge are absolutely superb. Very bright, nice white LEDs, excellent. I'll just show you how this engine accelerates. So in third gear, just winding it out through that lovely mid-range. Yeah, it pulls very well. And as you can see, no problems at all up to the legal limit. So far, what I like about this bike is its overall feel. It rides really nicely. The handling's great. KYB front forks are superb. It's got a very supple, controlled ride. Still good in the twists. Decent brakes. Lots of standard equipment. Traction control. Adjustable screen. LED lights. You know, for your £6,000, you get it with all the panniers. At this sort of speed, we're just turning over at just over 4,000 revs. The engine's smooth. This is easily as nice a bike to ride as the Honda CB500X. Definitely an equal. And very, very good. If you wanted to do some distance touring on this, no problem at all. It doesn't have cruise or electronic suspension, but you know, a lot of people don't want those fancy sort of things, and you know, you get what you pay for. And but with this bike, you do get an awful lot for your money. Back brake's got a good bite to it. So we're just in top gear now. We're just going to wind it open. As you can see, it's got no problems at all. You know, if anything, it sort of feels slightly torquier than the Honda engines. Round the bends, really turns in nicely, doesn't feel big or heavy. Mirrors are still nice and clear, but lovely riding position, and that seat is all day comfortable. So around the bends again, you can really attack the bends on it. The Metzeler Torrance tyres are great. I'm going to leave it in top gear up this hill now. Just pulling up this hill, wide open. As you can see, no problem at all with pulling power up the hill. Okay, so we're just down here at the lovely Poole Harbour, and we'll just have some final thoughts of the Voge down here. Excellent. So to see what it's like to go into first and neutral, that's all nice and easy. Little look at that LCD display and a little sound check. All very good. I'll just leave the indicators and the lights on for you to see again. Very good. So there you are, guys. Voge DS525, an excellent sort of budget ADV. Very, very impressed with that. Loads and loads of standard equipment. So we'll just see what it's like to put onto the centre stand for you all. So very easy to put onto the centre stand and to push off, and very, very easy to manoeuvre. Okay, let's just have a talk about all the various parts. So very good suspension, KYB, impressed with that. On road, very smooth, compliant ride. It's very capable on light tracks and trails. Those Metzer Torrents dual purpose tyres are very good. I believe they are tubeless as well, which is brilliant. Looking back at the bike, it's quite an impressive, handsome machine. It's got a very sort of good, yeah, it's got a good sort of look to it, a good presence, all that bodywork up the front there. So, you know, standard equipment, LEDs, you've got auxiliary lights, crash bars. Now you can get the full luggage for £6,000. That engine is very good. It's smooth, punchy, free revving, and yeah, good dependable engine. That really good. I say that's made by Lonsin, they've been around for years, so no worries there. Rear suspension's excellent. That seat is all day comfortable, as it is for the passenger as well. Nice that it comes to the rear rack as standard. Smooth gearbox, no problems there. Very, very light clutch, no issues with that. Adjustable suspension. I like the fact that it comes all your USBs, your 12 volts, decent LCD display, adjustable screen. But on the whole sort of feel of the bike, it just feels really nicely put together. It rides smoothly, and I mean, for the money, it's just a bargain. So guys, if you wouldn't mind please giving me a like, don't forget to share and subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you again in a week or two for another review. Ride safe guys, all the best, and bye for now.